Hello and welcome to the Dyson Leadership Podcast. And yes, I am here by myself for this episode because this is going to be a little bit more of a business update podcast for you. So I know normally we're talking about leadership concepts, leadership topics, different things that I bring guests on to discuss. But one of the things about this podcast is it is the Dyson Leadership Podcast, and I am the owner of Dyson Leadership. So I have to be able to update and tell you about what I'm doing and the things that I'm passionate about from a leadership perspective. So I've got 3 very big projects that are launching next year from Dyson Leadership that I want to share with you. And then one additional thing that I'll share with you that's coming soon that is important for your leadership and personal development, growth, and journey. So the first thing that is going to be launching is the Dyson Leadership Academy. So this is going to be an online community group where there are private message boards. There's going to be trainings every single month, and you pay for it just like you would a streaming service. It is just a monthly subscription. You have access to the videos, but you also get access to some additional online courses that I'm going to be creating as well. Now, if there are online courses that are not associated with the Dyson Leadership Academy, I'm also going to be giving you a discount on those other online courses. So there's a lot of perks involved to being around. Now, if you are active in the community, you are responding and engaging with the others that are in the community, there's additional perks and discounts that will come by being part of this Dyson Leadership Academy community. So the whole purpose behind this, the reason that I want to do this is I believe there's a lot of things that come out of the aspect of community. Us being able to engage and talk with one another, and also to be on Zoom calls, watch training videos. Not everybody can sit down and join a live call at the same time. Not everybody can attend a conference or a seminar at set fixed dates. So for me, I want to offer it in times that are maybe a little more unique, or times where more people may be able to jump on, because everybody deserves to be led well, and everybody deserves to have an opportunity to become a good and effective leader. So the Dyson Leadership Academy is coming next year. More information is going to be out on our social media and our website, but I am launching a second online community to go along with that. This one is specifically for those in the faith community. I'm a person of faith. I've been in church and taught in churches pretty much my whole life, it feels like. Well, I want to take scriptural basis lessons, things from the Bible that I've seen God work and do, things that I've learned, things that I've read and studied, things that I've personally studied, and I feel like God has showed me through scripture about leadership. I'm going to be doing the same type of model where it's the private community. It's going to be regular leadership lessons, but it's all going to be from a Christian worldview perspective. I will give the disclaimer. This is a big thing for me. I'm not going to get into doctrine or theology. We're not going to go overly in depth in this. This is a leadership development group that is focused specifically for the faith community. So if you're interested in seeing what the Bible says about leadership, or different biblical concepts and how they apply to leadership, personal development, communication, and so on, then you might want to check out that group. Again, information is going to be on social media and our website. I'm really excited. So the name of this group is the Nehemiah Initiative. This actually ties into a project that I completed when I was in college. As one of my electives, I decided to take Survey of Old Testament as a college class. Wasn't required. It was just something I took because I thought it would be easy and get an easy A. In truth, for me, it was because I was in church, around church, grew up in a pastoral family. I knew enough I could get by. So that's the reason I took the class. But there was one project specifically that stood out to me in that class that I absolutely loved. When we studied the book of Nehemiah, we were supposed to take that book and essentially dissect it for leadership lessons and principles and create a presentation that we could come and show the class about what we learned from the book of Nehemiah as it relates to effective leadership. absolutely loved that project. I loved working on it. I loved studying the book. And I realized there was so much depth to the amount of leadership lessons that you could bring out of the book of Nehemiah. So for this online community, I'm calling it the Nehemiah Initiative, because Nehemiah went back to Jerusalem to build back up the walls that were torn down. I want to use this community, this group, these lessons to build up godly and effective leaders for your family, for your community, for your church, for your business. I want to be able to help you in that journey. So that group is also coming in 2025. Now, the third big announcement coming soon from Dyson Leadership. If you remember back to our podcast episode, we had Josh Strenathan on the podcast, and he talked about the DISC assessment, the Maxwell method of DISC. That is a personality assessment, something you might see similar with, say, Myers-Briggs or Strength Finders. You see different variations of these personality assessments. The DISC deals heavily in communication and effective communication. But I'm excited to announce that I'm about to launch that product and service offering from Dyson Leadership as well. So I, as the owner of Dyson Leadership and the trainer facilitator that works with most people, will soon be a certified DISC behavioral consultant. It's a very fancy title, but that just means that I'm going to be well-versed and well-studied in the ability to understand the behavior, how people think, how people communicate, and use this DISC assessment to go in depth with individuals, teams, and more to discuss how to focus on their personal growth, how to set goals, how to improve in communication, how to improve in their leadership, and so on. There's so many aspects of DISC that I'm looking forward to diving into with my clients, with businesses in my area, and potentially people virtually as well. You're going to see that launching very soon and more information coming out. You might say, okay, is it just another personality assessment, another personality test? Why should I care? That's fair. But there's more assessments and more things with DISC than I think you realize. So here's just a handful of the reports that I'm going to be licensed to give out and allow people to take under my business. Obviously, is the DISC personality indicator report. That's your standard DISC report. It's about a 30-page PDF detailing numerous different aspects of your personality, behavior, communication, leadership, work styles, and so on. But there's another one that's going to be for specifically HR and hiring managers within an organization, and that is the interview and benchmark report. This report's going to allow you to set a benchmark using people actively at your organization. And then you're able to give this DISC assessment to somebody you want to join your organization. And you're going to be able to see, do they align with the current team? Do their strengths, their abilities, their styles, do they align with what we expect from people in these roles? So it's something for the interviewer, the employer, to use in vetting candidates. That's a report that's going to be available. There's also going to be a sales profile for a sales professional. Want to learn how to become more effective, close more deals, sell and land more clients? This might be a good report for you. You might say, well, I've been in the sales industry for a while. Well, that's good. Maybe you're a sales team leader. I have a sales leader profile. That's also going to be a report I can give out. Help you lead your sales team more effectively, help them land more deals and land more clients. Maybe hit that next level of bonus. Am I right? All right. So there's a few more. There's an entrepreneur report. Maybe you want to start your own business. Go out and create something for yourself. Maybe you're already an entrepreneur and are exploring those types of opportunities. There's an entrepreneur report built underneath this DISC assessment. That might be one that interests you. There's also going to be a student or career report. This is for ages 16 plus. So think high school and college is kind of the sweet spot for this. But this is going to evaluate some learning styles, some different things related to behavior, communication, some maybe natural talents that an individual may have, and be able to give you some ideas of some different professions and career paths that people go down when they have these types of strengths or abilities. It is not saying you have to go into those fields, but it's telling you what other people with a similar personality to you have thrived in. And so that's something that I look forward to being able to offer and work with people as well. Maybe help them land that dream job or find what their calling is, and to be able to go and pursue something they're passionate about. I think that report's going to help. Now, the last DISC report that I will share from this, and then I'll give you my bonus coming soon, is the group or team DISC report. Now, you may say I have a team of 5 to 10 people, and you may all want them to take the DISC assessment to be able to see how they communicate, how they relate to each other, improve their cooperation and communication one with another. Well, you can give all of them a DISC assessment. I can combine them into a group report and show you the patterns of your team. You can find out how they communicate one with another and solve communication breakdown and gaps on your team. Because let's face it, the better teams can communicate with each other, the more effective and successful they are going to be. Communication breakdown will break down a team faster than almost anything else. I would argue probably faster than anything else, with the exception of poor leadership. So, might be something you want to consider if you manage a team. You might want to look at something like that. So these are 3 big things coming from Dyson Leadership very soon. The other thing coming soon that I'm excited to share, I've talked about it on some other podcasts and some other settings, but I just want to include it here as another plug of coming soon, is I'm writing a book. And that book is going to be focused on imposter syndrome, because those of us who are in leadership, entrepreneurial endeavors, those that are in high stress or responsibility roles, face the struggle of imposter syndrome. I've researched it. I've read books on it. I've studied out as much as I possibly can. And I want to write a book to bring everything together, both from the scientific, what I've studied, what I've researched, but also from a faith perspective in the same book, so that whether you are a Christian or not, whether you are a business professional, an entrepreneur, a college professor, you are a leader in a company, whatever role you have, you can pick up this book and hopefully find something that will help you become more successful. So more details on that coming soon. Finishing the book, hoping to get that published really soon. For those in the faith community, because I do have a lot of friends, a lot of connections, a lot of people I work with who are Christians and come from the faith community, I'm also working on some specific resources and things for you guys as well. So that's something I'm excited to bring forward. Maybe some devotionals and some short little booklets that you all can pick up and run with. The last thing that you are going to see probably launch in early January as well is going to be a goal setting guide and kind of a free online course. This is something I debated selling it. I debated putting a price tag on it, putting it out on my website, and expecting people to send me money if they wanted to do effective goal setting. But most people set New Year's resolutions and goals right at the first of the year. They're looking for ways to improve their life, their habits, their behaviors, and they fall short. They give up by the end of January. Some don't even make it to the end of January. Well, I want to put out a resource that's going to help you on goal setting. Things that I've learned, things that I've used, things that are scientifically and psychologically proven to be effective and good with goal setting. I want to put that out there. I want to give you some resources, some tools, and some goal setting guides that I have people that I've worked with in my business that are using these resources today. I want to make those more available. I want to have those out on my website so that you can go and start taking advantage of them as soon as possible. So look for that coming. I can schedule it January 1st. That way, when you're ready to set your New Year's resolutions, you're ready to start walking through it, you're ready to go. So look for that coming really soon. Again, announcements, information is going to be out on social media, website, and so on. I want to get the word out. So help me spread this podcast. I'm going to have guests on. I'm going to have more topics. I may jump on and talk just myself about certain topics that I'm passionate about and I want to see you grow and develop in. So share the podcast, leave us a rating, follow along, subscribe, like the video if you're on YouTube, whatever you can do, because Dyson Leadership is growing to serve and help you become better. Look for a lot of big things coming from Dyson Leadership in 2025, and look for this podcast to continue putting out new episodes, new guests, new topics, things to build and help you become a better leader, a better communicator, and just better in your life, more fulfilled, more satisfied, and improving and growing every single day. Thank you for being part of the podcast. Thank you for watching, and hope you join me again next week for another episode.